What's going on, guys, and welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. I want to apologize a little bit ahead of time if I seem a little peaked or a little off my A game. I have the worst stomach bug ever right now or something. My stomach is killing me. And I know everybody in response drinking energy drinks probably not going to help it, but I'll be honest with you, this is the only thing I've kept down the last 2 days. These videos, I'm going through the week and I'm always thinking in the back of my mind something to talk about. There's always something to talk about. And one in particular stuck out to me. We got talking about my grandfather, and it's not my dad's dad, it's actually my mother's dad. And we were laughing and cutting up about how cheap he was. And he was so frugal. I mean, this man was so cheap. God, he was cheap. He was so cheap. But he was so weird, like he fixed everything. You remember the big console TVs back in the day, they were like a piece of furniture, it had the glass screen. He had 2 of them in his living room. So if one went out, he could pull it out and slide the other one in its place and plug it in and have it. And then he would send the other one to have it fixed and then put it back into rotation. I never saw him in anything, excluding the day he was buried, in nothing but blue work pants and a white t-shirt. Every day. He wore the same shoes. He had them. I probably remember personally going to the shoe shop with him to have them resold and to have taps put on the bottom of his shoes. And he was so cheap. They made taps, if you wear the heel out, they put them on the end. And they make them out of rubber. Well, they make metal ones. You got to think about it. Metal ones obviously going to last longer than a piece of rubber. So he'd have metal ones. So when he walked, it was like, everywhere he went. He was so cheap. I mean, he was just so tight. He would squeak. He's so tight. Great guy, one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. You learn a lot from things like that. And it got me thinking just about my life and the throwaway society that we're in now. I know he's a little extreme. But, you think about that and you think about life now. Just think. What everybody is watching me on right now, whether it be your smartphone or your tablet or your laptop or your desktop or your television set, whatever. What would you do if it stopped working right now? Throw it away. Go get you another one. I mean, you got to think about it. We are in a throwaway society. And that's a lot of convenience. Televisions obviously are a lot cheaper than they were back in the day. So you don't have to worry about fixing it as much. But it's even like cars. Used to back in the day, somebody bought a car and they drove it for a while. And, motors wore out in it, it's using oil, it's smoking. What do we do? We're going to build a motor in this thing. We're going to drive it. Our transmission goes out in it. We're going to build transmission in this thing. What do they do now? They junk it. Go get another car. Throw it away. Really, if you look at the bigger picture and you just really think about it, like that, how this mindset has gotten into every facet of your life, not just electronics or cars, but virtually everything. Like, what are you talking about, Rob? And I know I'm probably not the best example to be preaching on this. But take marriage. Divorces are at an all-time high. People go into marriages thinking, well, I can get a divorce, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not forever. Now, I've been on both sides of the altar on this. I've married them up, and I've been the one getting married up. Wedding vows, no matter where you are pretty much the same. Same premise. Maybe a different delivery or whatever, but if you read just the base terms, for richer or poor, in sickness and in health, to the day you die, for the rest of your life. It's pretty straightforward. That's forever. There's really no going around that. But people get divorced every day. That way. You ever find it funny how people, my generation and up, divorces are just part of life. Like my attorney joked with me and said, oh, hell, everybody's getting divorced now. I'll give you a third one for free. I'm starting to think he wasn't joking. Really and truthfully. And hell, of course, there again, I was back in for a second one. And I know there's some exceptions to this rule, but think about your grandparents. Well, how about their parents? How many times they've been married? It's forever. Old Mama and Pawpaw been married 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. That's like my parents. Married 42 years. 42 years. They fought like cats and dogs every day, and I can attest to that. But they stayed together. You know, they looked out for one another. You know, it'd have been easy. You know, f you, and throw it away. Getting a divorce, getting my shit, and getting out. But they didn't. They stuck it out. It's because they didn't have that throwaway mindset back in the 70s. And they got married. Like I said, the problem wasn't with that generation. The problem was like my generation and up. And getting progressively worse. This kind of brings me into a story, kind of funny how this works. Everybody knows about the Trans Am in high school, and I loved it. But the backstory to this Trans Am, you know, so just quick rundown. You know, I was literally driving halfway through my 9th grade year, going out for the football team, which 2 games, quit. Little girlfriend broke up with me. My dad gave me a brand new Trans Am. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I drove the living shit. Literally had 2 rules. 2 rules for me keeping the Trans Am. 2 rules. Don't get killed and pass school. Now get straight A's, just pass. That's all I had to do. Had it made. Didn't pay any car insurance, had dealer tax. They went on the back. PhD, baby. You know, Papa has a dealership. Ride around in a brand new Trans Am. And I loved it. And I did. I had the time of my life. And I just think about riding up to school in that thing, cruising around, all this stuff, just torturing that brand new car. It didn't happen 6 months. I don't think it even had quite 6 months. And you know why? It got taken away from me. Because I failed art. I failed art class. How the hell do you fail high school art? I mean, I understand I'm not going to be no Van Gogh or anything, but come on. I mean, really, I mean, all you do show, did I color outside the damn lines? Did I just not give a shit? Which I'm leaning more towards that one. And then, you know, Dad takes a car, sticks my ass in a little Nissan hardbody pickup truck that when you cut the air on would damn near choke the damn thing off. You talk about humbling experiences. But you know what, I drove it. And I decided, and then if I wanted a hot rod or a cool car, I was going to buy it myself. Well, you know, I had a little hustle going. I bought my Mustang, you know, the one that he outrun me every day in the SS Camaro with. But I want to tell you something. You couldn't traded me a lot full of those Trans Ams, brand new, for that old wrecked up ass salvage title, bent up ass Mustang that we took to the truck shop and cut every way but loose and beat. And it probably had 2 gallons of Bondo in it. I mean, it was just, and it was slick and it was pretty and it was a nice car. And we worked our asses off. My grandfather had his hands in it. My dad had his hands in it. I had my hands in it. I remember coming home from school. I remember skipping school to go work on my car at the shop. The pride when it was done. Was it the fastest? No. Was it the slickest? Not even close. But to me, it was perfect because I was proud of it. You know, this car was literally a throwaway. It was, I mean, you got to understand, this car was a glorified parts car. It was a good back clip for a convertible GT Mustang, period. I just fell in love with that triple black 5-liter Mustang. That's what I wanted. We worked our asses off and it made a great car out of it and tickles me. We fixed it and we did a few mods. I didn't have the money to build it like I wanted to right then, so I just kind of put it back more stock and a lot of things. Taking a perfectly good car that got 20 miles to the gallon with a drop top and cold air, and by the time I was done with it, it got 7 miles to the gallon and you couldn't take it on the interstate anymore. And I could still get outrun by an SS Camaro, but I loved it. And you get to thinking, like, just the times, you know, playing with this Mustang, trying to squeeze just a little more power out of this turd. And my dad'd be over there, and he goes, you know what'd make that thing better? That's what I said. Put your Chevrolet motor in that thing. Or, his favorite thing is that distributor's in the wrong spot. It needs to be in the back, son. And, messing with old 302 Ford. But I remember putting a cam in with my grandfather, and just the silly stuff, when you got a motor that's together, and of course we had to pull the whole front end off of it and radiator out and all that, pull a cam out of it. And it's talking about, when you put the cam lube on there, and naturally you'll do it with this finger. And my grandfather told me it was probably bullshit, that there was more acid or something in your skin there, so you had to do it with this finger. You'd wipe the lobes of it, and just silly shit, the things you think about. But I remember firing that old Ford up, and that piece of shit, I mean, it was slow as a herd of turtles, but it did sound good. But just all the little things with that car. And the thing is, you got to think about it. I had a car that was worth 5 times as much, easily. Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. And I worshiped this piece of shit. You think about, just everything, the experiences I had in it, the street racing story I heard on Vin Wiki, or I mean, just anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and just my dad buying the SS Camaro just to torture me because I had this Mustang, and my dad, I remember him saying, there's 2 things he said I like about that piece of shit. I said, what's that? He goes, 1, I don't think it's fast enough to kill you. And 2, he said, it's so damn loud that when you turn the neighborhood, at least I know you're okay. And I'm just like, oh, asshole. And so you get to thinking about that and just the pride that went into that. But then you get to thinking about now. And there's a lot of guys that fix cars and things like that, but there's also a lot of guys in this hobby that are in the car world that have that throwaway mentality. And I think that's something that bothers me the most since I kind of got my heart into the car game a little bit, and I don't build cars to sell them, obviously, and I have built cars in the past. It's been several years since I built one, but I know what it takes to make a Blazer like this, or a Chevelle like this, or a 56 Chevrolet like that, or a C10 like that one, or a Corvette, or this Ford truck, whatever. I know what it takes to make these things look like this, and run like this, and drive like this, and the work, and the sweat equity you're putting in this to do that. And I appreciate that. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about selling them, because I know what someone had to do to make this Blazer look like it does. You know what I'm saying? I know the man that had to block this thing to get it that straight, because it was slicker than it is when it was new. I think that's why I'm so passionate, because this isn't a throwaway thing. You gotta think, these things are 50 years old behind me. They're still going today because these were treated like your new TV set you bought. And, now you're going to get the old timer. Well, they just don't make them like they used to. No, they still make them. They make parts for them every day. People just don't want to fix things. So you got to think about that. You can't be quick to throw your hands up. Sometimes it'll hurt you to put a little sweat in the game. Put your skin in it a little bit. Put some hands on it. That's what I'm saying. And if Kobe don't hurry up and bring lunch, I'm going to put my hands on him. I'm starving. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. And I'm not saying he wasn't a little extreme. What's going on, guy? Just making a YouTube video. Waiting for the naked girls to show up. But, just little things like that. And, I remember putting a cam in it with my grandfather. Hold. A little long, but good.